I'm Wendy, and today we're going to be working on yoga to help support and strengthen the lower back. So find yourself a cushion or a blanket, place it on the mat and come to sit on it so that your hips are a bit higher than your knees. What that does is put our spines into our natural position, the natural curve at the base of your spine, coming up there, so your whole spine is in its natural position. And just have your palms loosely sitting on top of your knees. And the first thing we're going to do is align the breath with the body and the mind so that we're working as one. Make your shoulders come back just a little bit, so your shoulders sitting over your side ribs over your hips. Tuck your chin in and elongate the spine so that you're pulling up from this bone at the top of your head. And take a deep inhale through the nose, drawing the air up through the body, up through the diaphragm, into the chest, into the mouth, pausing at the top with the air at the roof of your mouth, and then gently exhaling through the nose all the way down the spine. Pause at the bottom. Take another deep inhale, really filling the side ribs with air. Bringing the air up into the lower chest, into the upper chest, into the throat, into the mouth, pausing at the top of the mouth. And then semi-closing the glottis at the back of the throat. Make that soft whispering sound as you exhale through the nose all the way down the spine. Pausing at the bottom. This time close your eyes and focus on the space in between your eyebrows. Take another deep breath. Bringing the air up through the side ribs, up through the lower chest, up through the upper chest, into the throat, into the mouth, pausing at the top and gently exhaling all the way down the spine. And opening your eyes, come back to your sitting position and your awareness. Inhale, find that length in your spine again, tucking the chin in, taking the shoulders just a little bit back, pulling up from the top of the head. And as you exhale, let your chin float down to your chest. And then inhale, taking your right ear down to your right shoulder, gently circling your head back. Not going too far back, and exhaling, coming forward, taking your left ear down to your left shoulder, circling, coming forward. Inhale, coming back, exhale, circling forward, making sure that your ears are coming down to your shoulders and not your shoulders up to your ears. Very gentle, smooth circles. Coming back to the beginning with your chin on your chest. Inhale and gently reverse the circles. Inhale, going back. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale back as smooth as you can. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. And then inhaling again, finding that length in your spine. As you exhale, walk the fingers of your left hand away from you. Exhale, folding down on that left elbow. And inhale the right arm with the right palm over your ear, stretching that arm out like fireworks. So really feeling the stretch all the way from your right armpit down to your right hip. If your hip starts coming up, pin it down again and really reach out, keeping those fingers as alive as you can, sending the breath all the way down your side ribs. Inhale, coming up, exhale down. And this time, inhale the left hand up, reaching up to the sky. Walking as you exhale, the fingertips of the right arm away. Exhale, continue to fold down on that right elbow and bringing that left arm right over your ear, breathing there. If you find your arm coming forward, make sure you pull it back, keeping that space all the way from your armpit to your hip. Coming back to the breath, breathing through the nose as we did at the beginning of the class. Inhale coming up, exhale coming down. And then turning the palms up towards the ceiling. I want you to inhale, and as you inhale, bring your shoulder blades back down together, back through your spine, alongside your spine. Reaching up with your arms, interlocking your fingertips. Exhale, pushing back slightly, making a very slight back bend. Breathing there. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, gently, gently, palms facing the floor, bringing the air down, letting the shoulder blades return to their natural position. And then moving the blanket or the cushion away, if you come to all fours, just come to line up your knees with your wrists. 4 fingers pointing forwards, and make sure that your wrists under your shoulders and the flats of your feet, the backs of your feet are pressing into the mat. And then inhale, really curling the tailbone up, pressing the chest forward, taking your gaze along the floor. Exhale, curling the tailbone in towards you, rounding off the spine, tucking in the head. Inhale, curling that tailbone up, reaching forward with the chest. Exhale, tucking the tailbone in, tucking the head in. Inhale, curling that tailbone up, pushing the sternum forward, really putting your spine through all its moves in this plane. Exhale, bring the hips back down towards the feet. And then you can reach forward with your arms, gently, gently moving your arms forward. Keep the breath going until you can just drop your forehead onto the mat and breathe there in extended balasana, extended child pose. And you can try to keep walking your fingers forward a little bit. Just open up the stretch under your arms, sending your hips to the back of the room. And then inhaling, coming back up to all fours, curling your toes underneath, keeping your knees bent. I want you to come up into a very loose downward dog. So coming up, knees very bent, and just gently start to walk forward through that downward dog. So really pushing your hips to the back of the room and coming up on one set of toes and then the other. So you're trying to make one long line all the way from your wrists to your hips. And you can come up onto your toes, inhale, exhale, bending the knees, really pushing your heels and your hips towards the back of the room. Breathing there. Zipping up all the way from your pubis bone, all the way up to your chest. One long line all the way from your wrist to your hips. And then inhale, coming forward into high plank. Taking 3 breaths there. And then inhale, and as you exhale, drop your knees to the floor. And you can bend your elbows, bringing your chest down to the floor and taking your legs back. Bringing your shoulders to underneath, your elbows to underneath your shoulders. Coming up into Sphinx pose. So taking your gaze down the length of the floor in front of you, sending the breath to your lower back. If you want to, you can come up into upward dog where you have your arms straight and try just drawing your kneecaps away from the mat, breathing there. Exhale, coming down. And then inhale, coming up. And coming up onto your feet, coming up into a loose forward fold. So what I want you to do is keep the knees slightly bent and just tip forward on your hips, holding your opposite elbows in each hand and just rounding off the spine, sending your breath all the way to your lower back here. You can rock from side to side a little, or just hang. And on each out breath, see if you can hang a little deeper, keeping your knees bent, your hips reaching up towards the ceiling, and your arms and your upper body tipping forward. Breathing there. And then coming down onto your mat. I want you to come and lie on your mat. I'm going to turn my mat sideways so you can see what I'm doing, but you keep your mat just where it is. So, I've blown my candle out, but never mind. So, coming onto your mat and lying down. Bring your knees into your chest and just rock gently from side to side. Easing out your lower back there. And then when you're ready, you can take your arms out to the side. Place your feet down on the mat, inhale, and as you exhale, let your knees drop down to the right hand side. Exhale, taking your head over to the opposite side, breathing there. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, down to the other side, taking your gaze over towards the opposite arm. Breathing there. Inhaling, bring the knees back to the center. And then if you just hook your heel over your opposite knee, and then you can send your arm through the gap in the middle, interlocking your fingers behind the thigh, bringing your shoulders back down towards the mat and hugging that thigh in towards you. Closing the eyes, breathing there. Exhale, placing the feet back down on the floor, Take a moment there to breathe before you hook the opposite heel over the opposite knee. And then inhale. As you exhale, send your arm through the gap, interlock your fingers behind your thigh. And as you exhale, bring your shoulders back down to the mat and really hug that thigh in towards you. Inhale, exhale, and reach out the length of the mat, taking your arms above your head. And first of all, you can just edge your torso round to one side. And you can move your feet around until you can hold on to your wrist with your opposite hand and to hook your ankle over your foot in Banana Asana, and breathe there. Inhale, walking back to the center. Exhale, walking the torso over to the other side. Walking the feet over to the other side and hooking the ankle over the foot and grasping hold of your wrist with your hand. Breathing there, sending the air all the way down your side ribs, down your hips. Inhale, coming back to the middle, hugging the knees into the chest again, easing it out, rocking from side to side. And try making some circles with the knees, some nice wide circles just to ease out your lower back. And then placing your feet on the ground, arms by your side, palms facing up. Inhale, curl the tailbone up, and as you exhale, lift the hips up. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, rolling out the tailbone. Inhale, curling up the tailbone. Exhale, pushing up through the hips. Breathing there. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, uncurling the tailbone. Last time, inhale, curling the tailbone up, really feeling that lower back falling into the floor. Exhale, lifting up the tailbone, reaching there. If you want, you can inhale the arms, fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, taking the arms behind you, palms facing out. Inhale, reaching up to the ceiling. Exhale, laying down the hips and the arms, palms facing up. Hug those knees in towards you and just rock gently from side to side. And then using your folded blanket again, you can place that just under the base of your spine and come back to lie on it. Just placing your hips on the blanket, arms outstretched beside you, palms facing up. And then inhale, lifting up your knees towards your chest. And then exhaling, pressing the heels away from you, up towards the ceiling. Breathing there. This is Vipariti Karani. A very relaxing pose, but also letting your lower back soften and spread out across the blanket. Inhale, bring the knees to the chest. Exhale, placing the feet down. And then you can cover yourself loosely with the blanket And lie down in Shavasana. So having your legs straight, your arms by your side, your palms facing out. If you want to, you can put a blanket or cushion to something under your knees to support your knees. And then you can place the blanket over you to make sure that you're warm and comfortable. And just gently let the body fall back into the floor after the work that you've been doing. And so lie down with a blanket, arms beside you, palms facing up. And tighten up your toes and your ankles. Think about your calves and your hips. Bring everything in and then let everything fall away into the floor. You can contract your abdomen and your chest. And then breathe out, letting everything go. Tense up your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms. Tighten up your fingers, your hands into a fist. And then relax. And let everything fall away from you. You tighten up your jaw, screw up your eyes, scrunch up your nose, and then gently let everything go. Spend a few moments just letting your outer body drop into the floor, letting your inner body fall into your outer body supported by the ground. Take some deep breaths there. And then when you're ready, you can slowly bring yourself back into your awareness again. And maybe start to wriggle your fingers and your toes. You might want to take your arms up above your head, reach out your fingertips, wriggle your fingers. And when you're ready, you could roll onto your right hand side, making a pillow for your head with your hands. Like that. Take a few breaths there. Before you come up to sit, as we were at the beginning of the class, just sitting on a loosely folded blanket or a cushion. Your hips slightly higher than your knees. So try to sit in the opposite cross to the way that we sat at the beginning of the class. Have your palms loosely on your knees. Close your eyes, focus on that space in between your eyebrows. And take another deep belly breath in through the nose. Bringing the air up through the side ribs, into the chest, into the upper chest, into the mouth. Pausing at the top. Gently exhaling all the way down the spine. Pausing at the bottom. Taking another deep inhale. Pausing at the top. Semi-closing the glottis, breathing out through the nose, making that soft whispering sound, the Ujjayi breath. Pausing at the bottom, one last inhale. Pausing at the top, exhaling. And then inhaling, bringing the hands to the heart center. Taking the gaze up towards the ceiling, making a very small back bend. Exhale, folding forward. Coming up to sit. Namaste. Thank you all very much, and I hope you feel better.